My name is Lisa Ferlita from Stage Lights Performing Arts Center, and I'm here to help. I'm going to do a really full, deep stretch. Now, I just came back from a walk, so I will do a short, brief warm-up with you in case you're not warm like me. All right, so we're just going to do a couple of squats. Make sure your feet are a little wider than hip width apart. And we're just going to go through our heels and down 8 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, really squeeze, 7, and 8. Now what I'd like you to do is do a little cross lateral. So you're going to bring your knee to your opposite elbow. And we're going to do that for 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So if you're just joining me, I'm just getting you a little warmed up to take you through a nice, relaxing, deep stretch. Because, like I was saying earlier, we're doing a lot of sitting or maybe being active, but are we stretching? So, I know that I could be better at stretching. So let's see, what else can we do? Let's do some jumping jacks. Let's do 20 jumping jacks. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, just do a couple of side twists here. Just want to get your body a little bit loose and a little bit warmed up before you do any kind of deep stretches, because if you do it on a cold body, you can actually pull a muscle, all right? So if that's not enough, you can do some more jumping jacks, you can do some more cross laterals. These are really good, it kind of gets everything cooking. Good, so I'm going to bring you down to the floor now, and I'm going to start our stretches pretty much from the head down to the toes. So if you're like me, I get a lot of tension in my neck, and I really have to pay attention to stretching. And I know when I do my stretches, it gets better. And if I hold it for 10 seconds for 3 rounds, I definitely feel a difference. So we're going to start with the head going over to the right, kind of like you're pouring water out of the crown of your head. Now, the important thing is to keep your shoulders down your back. Now take up that arm, your right arm, and gently guide it a little further. Good, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. We're getting rid of some neck tension. So do this with me. Make sure the opposite shoulder is pressing away, and then you're just going to stretch over towards your left side. I'm mirroring you so you can follow me. Oh, this feels good. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now this one's a little bit different. We're going to look towards our knee, and we're going to get a different angle of our neck. So we're going to take our right hands, and we're going to look down at our right leg, and we're going to gently guide our chin a little closer to our chest, and then we're going to take that opposite shoulder away. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, other side. Get a little shoulder roll. Look down at your left leg. Hand behind the crown of the base of your skull there, and gently guide the chin closer to your chest. Breathe deep. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back to the first side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. Big breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On an angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the last time I'm going to keep silent and just let you concentrate on your breathing and the relaxation of your shoulders. Here we go. And change directions. And on an angle. Other side. All right, good job. Roll your shoulders back 4 times. And forward. And let's take our right arm across our chest. And I just hope that you're being kind to yourself, because I know I need to be kinder to myself during this time. I've got 2 kids I'm trying to e-learn, and I get very frustrated and have been losing my patience. So I'm trying to come back to my mindfulness and my breath and taking a little more me time. So I do have a degree in dance, and I've been exercising my whole life. So I do have some talents I'd like to share with you. And stretching, yoga, dance, anything performing arts related is really what I love to do. So I hope you join me more often for my videos. I'm putting out a lot of bonus videos at this time. Just swing your arms and open your chest and change the arm that's on top each time. Good. Now, take your right elbow to the floor and take your left arm over your ear. Try to keep your shoulders away and try to keep both hips on the floor. Big breath. And this reminds me of my Martha Graham that I did in college. Just hollow out your stomach and go forward onto your fingertips. And come back up. And onto your elbow, other side. It might be hard to get all the way onto your elbow. Just stretch until it feels like you're getting a decent stretch. And be careful of overstretching. Keep those hips in contact with the floor. Good, let's uncross and cross the other leg forward. And if you do have a dance background and know anything about Martha Graham, she does a lot of contractions, which happens in the lower part of the body. Right on the lower back, like behind the belly button, it's like someone's pulling your shirt and your whole body is just hollowing out. It feels really good on the lower back. I love it. So just feel like, or take the shirt on your back at the base of your spine and just pull it back. And take an exhale. And then round your back and stretch over. I feel that in my hips as well as my lower back. It's a great stretch. Remembering to keep your hip bones into the floor. Nice. Okay, so if you're just joining us, we're doing a nice deep stretch. I've been doing a lot of exercise and keeping the stretching. The stretching has kind of gone on the wayside, so I'm giving my body a nice stretch today. So go ahead, you can either bring your legs out to the side like a dancer second position, or you can even bring one foot in and one foot out. Okay, you can stretch like this. You can bring it in further. You can even sit on a blanket if you need to. All right, so we're gonna sit up really tall, and we're gonna go over sideways towards that leg, trying to get this elbow on the floor. Arm over your shoulder, shoulders down, hold, 1, 2. I'm not even gonna point my toes, I'm gonna relax them today. Okay, then come back up, turn towards your leg, and walk out. Try to get your chest to lay on that leg. And come back up and switch legs. All right, and over we go. Other side, shoulders away from your ears. I feel this right in here, very tight. Hold it there. Keep breathing. Good, and go on and face that leg, turn your torso and walk down the leg. And the more you turn that opposite side up a little bit, the more you'll feel the stretch. So I'm going over my left leg, so you're probably going over your right. So lift the right side of your body a little higher and then go further down. Nice. All right. And before we get to the lower back stretch, I want to do a couple things on our hands and knees to loosen it up a little bit. Cat and cow is a wonderful way to release the tension in your spine. So hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. We're going to exhale all the breath. And we're going to release the spine up to the ceiling, trying to look at our belly button. And then release it on an inhale, hips and eyes towards the ceiling. Exhale. Spine back up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Back to neutral. Take the front leg back and stretch your calf. And the best way to do this, instead of keeping your hips up like this, I want you to try and curl the hips under a little bit to kind of get more into that calf. Good, switch sides. Keep breathing, breath is so important. Good, knees underneath your hips. We're going to go into a down dog. So we're going to curl our toes under and we're going to release our hips up to the ceiling. This is a great way to stretch out the back of the body. Your goal is to try to get your heels to connect to the floor. If they're already connected, back your legs up a little bit. You actually want to try to get your heels to connect, but if they're up a little bit, then you're really getting the best out of that stretch. Okay, now from here, put the weight into your first finger and thumb. Glide your shoulders down your back. Reach your chest towards your legs. Relax your neck and take a nice deep breath. And again. 3 more breaths on your own. Good, and just walk the dog, which means you're just switching heels. One's pressing into the floor and the other one releases. A couple more of those. And then go back to your downward dog and take another 3 breaths. Okay, I'm going to step one foot in a little bit towards the center of my body, and I'm going to lift the other one up. And then you're gonna bend the knee and open the hip. You'll feel this in the hip flexor. And then bring it back, and we're gonna go into a pigeon pose. One of my favorite stretches to get into my hips. So I'm gonna bring that leg through. And I'm gonna try and square off my hips. If I'm sitting to one side, then it's not the most effective way to get this stretch. You wanna try to be right in the center of those hips. And the more your foot is out to like in a perpendicular way instead of in towards your groin, the more you're gonna get that stretch. For me, that's really excruciating. So it does tend to come in towards my body a little more than it probably ought to. So I've got a nice square hip here. I'm gonna start with a little bit of an arch. And then I'm gonna walk forward. Good, now, the secret for me, I'm out of the frame here, let me back up. The secret for me in this pose is to actually keep my head on the floor and not move. I like to come up on my forearms, and I've been told by many mentors to stop doing that, to really just release into the ground. So let's do that, and I'll let you know when it's time to come up, but I'm probably gonna stay there for about 20 seconds. So concentrate on your breath, and wherever you feel tension, just take a nice deep breath into that area, okay? All right, I know this is hard, but it's so effective. Here we go. All right, slowly walk yourself back up. I was starting to get really uncomfortable, but I was breathing through it. So if you were where I am, I felt your pain. Now, I'm gonna try and stay here and curl this back leg up. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get the foot right in the crook of my elbow and get a nice quad stretch. This is really good, especially if you're a runner, because it gets the psoas muscle, your hip flexor, as well as your quad, which gets really tight when you do walking and running and things like that. So, here we go. I'm gonna aim those toes in the crook of my elbow. Not the easiest thing when you're wearing no socks, but there we go. And I'm gonna keep my hip flexor reaching towards the floor as I bring the heel towards my groin. All right, stay here for like 10 seconds. Okay, release. And then we're gonna go into a fourth position. So that just means you're basically making a double attitude. So I just threw two dance terms at you. So your front leg is in like a right degree angle, and so is your back leg. Now your aim here is to get both hips down on the floor, which is quite hard, right? You wanna sit up as straight as possible. Now I'm gonna stretch out my side here, so I'm gonna come onto my forearm. Be really careful here. You may want to stay on your hand, okay? And the goal is to get as far back in a side stretch as possible while reaching your groin and your hip forward. Hold for 10. If you're really overzealous, really good way to stretch out the front of that leg is to come all the way down on your back. And that's really getting into that hip flexor psoas muscle. So I'm gonna stay here for a little bit. You can stay in the pose we did right before that. But like I said, I've been negating my stretches for this whole quarantine, and I've gotta get back. start to walk myself back around. And I'm gonna come back to all fours. And I'm gonna get ready to, before I do that, I'm gonna just rock my hips side to side just to get the tension out of the hips. That feels really good. All right, now from here, I'm gonna tuck my toes under and go back to downward dog. So if you're just joining me or you joined late, this is a post-workout stretch. It's a really deep stretch. You can take it at any level that you want. It's definitely geared towards my hips and my neck because that's what seems to bother me the most these days. All right, now you're gonna take your opposite leg, step it in a little bit, and bring that leg up. And then bend the knee and open up your hip. And then I'm going to bring that leg in between my arms for pigeon pose on the second side. Yippee! All right, so again, we're trying to get this as straight out as possible. It's tough. Mine tends to come in a little bit towards my groin, and that's okay. The main goal is to keep your hips square. Okay, so I'm going to start with a bit of a back arch. I really feel that in here. Feels really good. And I'm going to walk out. Instead of stopping at my forearms, which I'm really comfortable with, I'm going to go all the way down. And I'm going to go for a 20-second hold. All right, and carefully and gently walk yourself back up. And then from here is when I curled that leg in and brought my toes to the crook of my elbow here. So I'm going to try that on this side now, which one side's going to definitely be tighter than the other one. And for me, that's this side. All right. There we go. And I'm releasing my psoas muscle or my hip flexor towards the floor as my heel is guided towards my hips. 10-second hold. And release. And then we're going to come into that fourth position again, trying to square up your hips. Ooh, that's harder. All right. Another thing you can do, I used to do this in dance class, is lift and then release your hip to the floor. That's a nice hip opener. All right, now we're going to do that swing around to the side and stretch out our side bodies. So we're going to carefully swing around to the back corner here. If you can come onto your forearm, great. If you need to stay on your hand, that's great too. And try to guide your hips forward, especially this one here. Try to guide it forward. You'll feel an increased stretch there. Okay, and I'm going to take this a little bit further. You can either stay there or you can come all the way onto your back. This is really intense, so please make sure you have the flexibility to do this. And walk it up. And I'm going to face the back, to face my front just to see what I'm doing. I'm crossing the right foot over my left. My left is in towards my body. I'm gonna lift my left arm up, bring it across my right knee, lift up really, really, really tall, and then stretch around to the back. Hello there. Shoulders down, crown of the head like somebody's pulling it straight up. Think traction. And still breathing. And other side. So uncross your legs. The left leg is on front, the right heel's in towards your hips, and both hips are on the floor. Take your right arm up, cross it in front of the left knee, and walk yourself around in a spinal twist, remembering to grow tall in your body. I can't see you as well on this side. Oh, it's my goal to see you. Nice. All right, onto your back. So I have a tight piriformis muscle. I thought I had sciatica. It gets so tight that it actually presses on the sciatic nerve and I get pain down one leg, just like sciatica would act, right? And so I've been to so many orthopedics and I finally got diagnosed with piriformis syndrome. And it's basically a really tight muscle in my butt. So I'm going to stretch the piriformis muscle and try to alleviate some of that pain. And it's not always, it's just like when I do a lot and I don't stretch. So, stretching is so important. All right, so put both legs on the floor, both feet. Cross your right leg over your left. Flex your toe, make sure your ankle's just clearing your knee. Now bring your left knee towards your chest and still guide that right leg out. So you're making like the number 4. Yeah? But the line of the 4 can either be bent or straight, depending on your flexibility and your comfort level. So then you're going to grab the leg in between your legs and on the other side, clasp underneath your hamstring and pull that shape in toward your chest. But guide that right knee away. Alright, and release, switch sides, and bring that leg up, interlock the hands behind your hamstring, making that left knee go away from you as the right leg comes closer towards your chest. You can circle your ankle up here if you would like. And release. Hands to a T. We're going to window washer our legs. So our knees are going to go towards the right. And then toward the left. And then you're just going to keep doing that so that you get to each side 5 times. I'm doing mine slow, so I'm only on 3. Good. Now, we're going to do a nice spine stretch. Take the right foot into passe or point to the side of your leg. Take the left hand and guide your right knee across your body and then look to the opposite side. Try to get your shoulder here to be on the floor and nice deep breaths. All right, good job. Other side. Passe on the left. Right hand to the left leg and guide it over your body towards the floor. Opposite shoulder is connected to the floor and you're looking the opposite way of your knee. Big, big breaths. And bring it up and stretch out your legs really long and bring your arms overhead and just do a stretch from wall to wall. Roll onto your stomach. And finishing up here, hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to go easy up into a cobra. Shoulders down. And release, grab a hold of your ankles. And you're going to press against your hands as you lift your knees and your chest up off the floor. Big breaths here. Nice. And then, final stretch of the evening is child's pose. So connect your toes, bring your knees out wide, walk your hips back towards your heels, and then walk your hands out. And stay here as long as you like. I feel so much better. And if you like this video, please comment. I'm basically wanting to help the community in any way I can. So if there is something that you really want to see, whether it's some kind of a musical number, you want to learn a song, you want to learn a certain genre of dance, you want more yoga, you want stretching, you want aerobic type dance, just message me or put it out there. I am trying to reinvent the wheel every day and saying, what do you think people want today? How can I help? What can I bring to you? So help me help you. And tell me what you want. And I just want to live my passion. And I really enjoy doing this and having you here watching today. And bye for now.